Imagine a perfect family outing turned nightmare. A happy couple and their 4 enthusiastic boys set out for a day of splashes and smiles at a renowned water park. Yet, in an unforeseen and tragic twist, they depart with only 3 sons, their hearts shattered by an unimaginable loss. This gripping video unravels the sorrowful true story of the Schwab family's ordeal. We delve into the events leading up to the devastating incident, the aftermath, and the pressing questions. What went wrong on that fateful day? Did the family receive justice? Was the water park held accountable? Watch to the very end as the story is both in-depth and unbelievable. We welcome your informed opinions. Join us as we uncover the chilling details of a leisure day that ended in total and utter despair. Caleb Schwab, born on January 23, 2006 in Kansas, grew up as one of 4 awesome boys in his family. He loved baseball and was a dedicated player for his local team, the Mudcats, a sport that brought him much joy and camaraderie. The Schwab household was much like any other, with one unique aspect. Caleb's father, Scott Schwab, was a member of the Kansas House of Representatives from 2003 to 2019. His position played a significant role in the family's visit to Schlitterbahn Waterpark. On August 7, 2016, Schlitterbahn Waterpark in Kansas celebrated Elected Officials Day. This event offered free admission to elected officials and their families, including the Schwabs. Schlitterbahn was a renowned water park in Kansas, one of 5 in the United States. It boasted 14 water slides and 2 pools. Understandably, the Schwab children were thrilled about their visit to the park. The prospect of spending a day at this water park brought a sense of excitement and anticipation to the Schwab children, who looked forward to a day filled with fun and adventure. The Schwab family started their day by attending church, then packed their car to set off for a day of excitement at the water park. Scott Schwab recalls his sons Caleb and Nathan's eagerness to experience the world's tallest water slide. Upon arriving at the park, Caleb, aged 10, and his 12-year-old brother, Nathan, hurried straight to the water slide.
Before they took off, I said, "Brothers stick together." And he says, "I know, Dad." I said, "Look at me. Brothers stick together." "I know, Dad." "Okay."
It was the last time they'd see Caleb alive.
Reported by ABC News, before they left for the slide, Scott reminded his boys of the importance of sticking together as brothers. Caleb acknowledged this with a response that would be his last words to his father. They climbed the 264 stairs, excited about having a fun slide down, thinking they were going down the slide together. However, the operators had to separate the brothers to fulfill the weight requirements for the rafts. Nathan went down the slide first, looking forward to reuniting with his brother at the bottom. Meanwhile, at the top, Caleb prepared to board his raft. He was seated at the front, with 2 women, sisters he had never met before, positioned behind him. They were all there for the same reason: to experience a thrilling and exciting ride. The entire journey on the water slide was meant to last only 18 seconds. The initial 17-story drop of the ride occurred smoothly, but it was what followed that turned the joyous moment into tragedy. After the first drop, the raft, instead of gliding along the fiberglass track to ascend the second hill, became airborne. This unexpected turn of events caused the raft and its passengers to lift off the track, bringing them perilously close to the netted enclosure that was designed to ensure the raft stayed on course. Tragically, at this point, Caleb's head struck a metal hoop, part of the structure holding the safety net. This collision was catastrophic. Caleb was fatally injured, his body and head separated from each other, and thrown from the raft. They eventually landed in a chute near the end of the ride. The horror of the situation quickly dawned on the park attendees who saw the aftermath. There were screams of shock and disbelief. As people realized the identity of the victim, they tried desperately to shield Caleb's mother from the horrific sight of her son's remains, a scene no parent should ever have to witness.
There was a gentleman who wouldn't allow me to come close enough to see what was going on. And he just kept saying, "No, trust me, you don't want to go any further."
But don't forget poor Nathan. He was watching his brother's ride and witnessed his brother being decapitated. He was screaming. He flew from Verrückt. He flew Verrückt. Imagine the horror. How can someone get over seeing their loved one die in such a horrible manner? This horrific image will be with him for the rest of his life. Imagine going home without your son or brother. It's totally soul-destroying. Grief will, of course, turn into anger, and you would want to know what went wrong and who is to blame: the owners, the engineers. The ride remains closed. The decision to dismantle the slide was made in 2018, and it was subsequently torn down. Let's talk about the ride itself, the Verrückt, which is a German name meaning insane.
Only one question to ask. Are you insane?
It was certified by the Guinness World Records as the tallest water ride in the world. Riders sit in multi-person rafts that begin with a steep drop, followed by a surge up a second hill before a 50-foot descent to a finishing pool. Each Verrückt rider must be at least 54 inches tall, and the combined body weight of the riders on each raft is limited to 400 to 550 pounds. Caleb and the sisters were within the guidelines. Riders are harnessed in with 2 nylon seatbelt-like straps, one that crosses the rider's lap, the other stretching diagonally like a car shoulder seatbelt. Each strap is held in place by long Velcro-style straps, not by buckles. Riders also hang on to ropes inside the raft. However, the design and execution of Verrückt were marred by serious safety oversights. Jeff Henry, alongside John Schooley as the lead designer, undertook the construction of this ambitious project without formal technical or engineering qualifications. The development was rushed, compressing months of planning and testing into a mere 5 weeks. This rush led to alarming problems during tests. Rafts filled with sandbags were repeatedly flown off the track, causing numerous delays and forcing them to make major changes to the design.
But you're saying it is safe?
It's been tested. Oh yeah, this ride is probably the safest speed slide that's ever been built.
Despite these red flags, the ride was open to the public on July 10, 2014, even after a safety consultant warned of the extreme dangers, particularly regarding the safety netting that could pose additional risks if rafts or riders collided with it at high speeds. The safety measures in place for riders, which included securing them with only nylon straps and Velcro fasteners, were woefully inadequate. This was tragically highlighted in previous reports where riders experienced these straps coming loose during the descent, with only one of these incidents being formally recorded.
We were going up that little hill, that second hill, and the gravity again lifted the raft and went flying down, and that's when I came crashing down on my back and couldn't move. I had 3 slip discs in my back that still give me trouble today.
This expert suggested only allowing riders over 16, but Henry reduced this to 14 and eventually removed the age limit altogether. In the wake of the harrowing accident on the Verrückt water slide, an extensive investigation led to significant legal repercussions. Authorities charged key figures involved in the slide's creation and operation. Jeff Henry, John Schooley, and their company Henry & Sons Construction Co. faced charges of second-degree murder, while Schlitterbahn operations manager Tyler Miles was charged with manslaughter for allegedly concealing past accidents at the park. A collection of evidence, including Travel Channel videos and internal Schlitterbahn reports, pointed to a pattern of dangerous negligence. Prosecutors argue that Miles deliberately ignored multiple injury reports linked to Verrückt, with at least 13 people suffering severe injuries such as concussions and herniated discs, as per Esquire's report. Despite these alarming safety issues, Tyler Miles allegedly continued to disregard them, further jeopardizing riders' safety. The investigation also uncovered shocking revelations about the qualifications of ride designer Jeff Henry. Lacking formal education in engineering, Henry was a high school dropout who, along with John Schooley, relied on rudimentary trial and error methods for designing the slide, as reported by KQR. John Schooley was quoted in court documents revealing the reckless attitude towards the slide's creation. If we actually knew how to do this and it could be done that easily, it wouldn't be that spectacular. The case appeared straightforward, with expectations of justice for the families and imprisonment for Henry, Schooley, and Miles. However, the legal proceedings took an unexpected turn. In early 2019, Judge Robert Burns dismissed all charges against the defendants, citing issues with the evidence presented. He criticized the Travel Channel footage as overly dramatized and not a true representation of the slide's development. Additionally, Judge Burns highlighted problems with witness testimony and noted that due to Kansas' lenient ride safety laws at the time, Henry and Schooley hadn't technically violated any regulations. Judge Burns' statement emphasized the disconnect between the engineering standards cited by the state's expert witness and the actual legal requirements in Kansas. He stressed the need for due process and fairness, which he felt the defendants did not receive. In 2017, the Schwab family reached a $20 million settlement with Schlitterbahn Waterpark and other involved parties. Most of this settlement was dedicated to the Can I Go Play Scholarship Fund, named after one of Caleb's favorite questions, aimed at supporting young athletes facing financial barriers. Scott Schwab, utilizing his role as a Kansas state representative, championed more stringent regulations for amusement parks. His heartfelt address to the Kansas House of Representatives led to the passing of a law mandating annual inspections of amusement park rides by qualified personnel and requiring parks to report injuries. Our thoughts and deepest condolences go out to the Schwab family. To our viewers, we encourage you to share your thoughts and reflections on this story. What are your opinions on the events that unfolded? How do you feel about the safety measures and the legal outcomes? Your insights and perspectives are invaluable as we all grapple with the lessons learned from this devastating incident. Until next time, bye for now.